I was scrolling through Spotify as I like to do sometimes and came across a song I found pretty interesting. I've always been a fan of Odie Gabe back when Uzi was a thing, but I have to admit I haven't kept up to date with his music. Mike of Uzi always had some next level production reminiscent of the rave scene, which Gabe would sing over with his punk inspired vocal melodies. Wherever Mike is, I hope he's still making beats. Now, this is not an Uzi video, but does tie into why I found the song pretty cool. The song features Kitty, or more so features Gabe, which makes for an interesting duo. As you know, I'm a big fan of any punk-inspired rap music, so of course I was going to spend some time analyzing this track. The first thing that came to mind was, haha, more punk-inspired music I can add to my playlist, but then I realized something. It's pretty sick that two modern rap artists can come together and sing over a guitar sampled beat, but with each of them having a unique but shared perspective. Not all that profound, I know, but still an interesting find nonetheless. Top 20 anime crossover type shit? Now, let's take a look at the mix and analyze what we have going on. To begin with, we've got the obviously sampled and looped guitar melody. Some might say this is cheating or even played out, but I can show you a million little peep type beats that don't hit, so I can always appreciate when it's been done properly. Next, we have our good old trap drum samples. Also, definitely overdone. Why so many trap drums? Ha! I'm still a big fan of trap drum samples. The whole industry now lives off these 808 kits. I mean, bands even replace their own drums recorded with $10,000 mics with samples, which still proves to me that well-picked drums are still the move. I don't see change coming anytime soon. This track gets the arrangements spot on. A well-leveled kit indeed. Super deep 808, splashy pitched hi-hats and a good old clap. If they've been well mixed, they'll always come off as pleasant to the ear, like candy. The vocals, yes, the vocals. I was most interested in because whoever mixed this track truly understands their music history. Sure, we have various artists today that showcase how impactful super triply stacked vocals can be, but man, there's something wonderful about a good old, smooth and buttery main vocal just sitting right under the guitar. That's how it's always been done, especially back in the tape days. I'd say after about 2014, vocals began to be placed above the beat, which is a topic for a whole different video. Shout out Migos. Point is, these vocals really hit home in regard to capturing a good old classic tone. Regardless of if it's a trap / punk / pop record, it's nice. So I decided to remix it. I've added some vocals to it and I'll be breaking down how I got the recordings to blend into the beat. So let's get it. Also, check the links in the description for this FLP, my vocal recording course, vocal mixing course, as well as vocal enhancer, if you wish to step your game up recording in FL Studio. Let's go! Alrighty, it is time to get into the tutorial. As always, check the links in the description for a whole bunch of cool stuff. But for now, we're going to get straight into it. So I'm going to play a bit of the track. I definitely recommend you go listen to the full song to get a full idea of what we've been talking about. And then you'll listen to our part right here, or the part that I've recorded, and yeah, we'll break it down. So with that being said, let's get into it.
iPhone, 3 days in the trap and baby Milo, never going back, that's on the iPhone.
She was stalking on my last cell phone. Pull up with these rags, now her mind blown. I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go. Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. All my boys grimy, they smoke reefer. Yeah, bought a new chain, it look like a freezer. I don't get high, I hate to come down. I like your style when you come round. Hopping in foreigns and we driving real fast. She be like, why you drive so fast? I'm like,
fast life, way we got accustomed to the fast life.
Alrighty, there you go, time to break it down. So as you can see, we have our main vocal, we've got a double, we've got a punk double, we've got some shouts and that kind of thing, different types of ad-libs. Already all of these are different types of ad-libs, but we also have our background left and right. So we're going to be doing a lot of kind of background vocal mixing and that kind of thing. I might do a separate video on that. But for now, you know, just main vocals. So as you can see right now, we have our main vocal at the top, which is on this channel right here. All of our main vocals go to this channel, which then go to the vocal chain. I highly recommend, if you do copy anything, we do now have a video that actually breaks down the full template format, but as well we have the vocal recording course if you really want to learn how to route your signal, route your vocals to really get a nice sound. You know, the benefit of using a template is that you can actually record all your main vocals like I've done, and then press Control left click and then actually record into your doubles channel so that you can actually hear those effects as well, right? And then leave the main vocals so that you can sing or rap under them. So that's pretty much how I do it. But, you know, just to break down the main vocal, I start off with a little bit of auto-tune. I'm a big fan of Antares 8.1, not because it sounds better than any other version or the Waves tune, for example. I just use it because I've gotten used to singing into it, and that's going to be the most important thing in your recording lifetime. It's just finding that one auto-tune or that one compressor that you really like and then using it and learning it over time. It's better to have, I would say, 1 to 2 really nice plugins than it is to have 100 plugins and not know how to use any of them. So there you go, auto-tune. These settings will vary, but these are the settings I'm using. I'm using a nice 15 retune speed, which is not that aggressive. It's pretty aggressive, but it is just going to help push the vocal back together. So really cool, you know, tighten up any loose ends. You know, I like to use the correction style and the humanize, but you know, we'll leave that for a different video. NS1, I just use it just to cut out any sort of noise or anything like that. Not that I am recording with too much noise, as you can see right there. There's really not much going on, but it does help using a NoiseGate if you would like to boost the treble later on, because I don't know why I have it that aggressive.
iPhone, she was stalking on my last cell phone. Pull up with these racks, now her mind blown. I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go. Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge.
Doesn't really make that much of a difference. That's super aggressive. I might have had it in a different template, but you know, that's what we're doing. After that, man, we head straight towards the SSL by Brainworks. I've been using this a lot more than the SSL native. I don't know why, but for some reason I just really am a fan of the G series these days. I know I go through different flavors, but I'm not really doing too much here, man. I've enabled the high pass filter at 16 Hz. It's not actually high passing anything. I do prefer the high pass on the microphone these days, so there's a little switch at the back of my mic that actually allows me to just do a bit of a high pass, and that just gets rid of most of the mud. But yeah, you're free to obviously, you know, adjust this as needed. I really wanted to get that full vocal tone like how the rest of the track sounded like, so I decided not to high pass. But what I did do was I actually found around 313 Hz. I'll boost it for you so you can hear, but around that region, so 313, if for those who don't know what the SSL might be doing, is 313 around there or whatever, and I'm just dipping away a bit of it just to really get rid of some of that kind of body of the vocal. So if I was to boost it, you can kind of get an idea. Let's just play a bit of it.
Mind blown, I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go. Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. All my boys grimy, they smoke reefer. Yeah, I bought a new chain, it look like a freezer.
So as you can see, it is a nice frequency, but too much of it really doesn't do much for the vocal. It kind of makes the vocal not fit in as well as it could. You know, there's a lot going on around that region in the beat, so you want to really just carve out some of the vocal. Also did a little bit of a cut at 200, just like 1 dB, just to really get rid of stuff. And you know, tiny boost at around 19,000 Hz. The cool thing about the G series is you can add this ×2 button and it'll actually multiply whatever set frequency you have by 3, so you get 19,000. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I left this band alone. So that's pretty much all we do with this. No compression. The expander's on. Whatever, it just is what it is what it is. After that, I decided to go. I've been using the Korg a lot more lately, man. I love this plugin, and really all I'm doing with this is I'm enabling a quarter note delay, and it's just running in the background. You know, rest in peace Seth Focus. You know, this is the trick to do, just to really help spread your vocal, kind of open it up a little bit. If I was to boost this, we're using it at 2%, I think, right there. As you can see, that 002 means 2%. It's 98% wet or to dry. And you know, if I boost this a little bit,
mind blown, I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go.
So obviously it gets pretty crazy pretty quickly, but it just does this nice little magical delay. As you can see, it's kind of fading away there, and cool. You can use a fruity delay too if you'd like. You know, this is just Japanese, so it's cool to use. After that, man, we're definitely doing a bit of de-essing. We're de-essing twice in this track, and I'll show you the second one just now. But as you can see right here, around 8,000, you know, I want you to mess this around a little bit if you know, you might have a different specific frequency that needs de-essing. But I do quite a bit of de-essing with this, and then you'll see why just now. But if I just play this.
Mind blown, I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go.
As you can see, we just absolutely decimating any sort of S sounds. If I turn it off.
Mind blown, I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go.
You know, it's nice to just be able to kind of smoothen out the vocals, just to give it that nice. We're kind of going for a really nice mid-band sound, meaning we want all those mids to be rich and luscious. We don't really want things sticking out in the bass, lower bass, or in the top treble. We just want that nice kind of middle grounded vocal. So there you go. After that, man, decided to use the Omnipressor. Definitely check out my top 5 favorite compressors if you would like to see how I set this up. See, I don't even know how it really works, but you know, I know that this is the threshold. I know that attack and release is pretty simple, but you enable it by enabling this function knob 1 to 2. I guess that's like 2 to 1 ratio or something, and there you go. It does compression. I really don't know what these do, but you know, with and without it, I'll play for you.
Mind blown, I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go. Pull up on the seat and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. All my boys grimy, they smoke reefer. Yeah, bought a new chain, it look like a freezer.
I don't know, it does something much more than just compression. It kind of also does a bit of like, I don't know, it evens out the bass is the best way I can describe it. So Eventide, really cool. I'm using the old school one, sounds a bit better. But yeah, man, after that we do a little bit of critical EQ. Could not be a track without a bit of EQ. And really I'm just kind of getting rid of anything I don't like at this point, you know. We want the vocal to fit in, but we also want it to blend in. So, you know, that's what I'm doing right there. Cut at 178. 2T3, this will vary depending on your vocal, but I really wanted to kind of emphasize this frequency right here. It just sounded good with the track, so I made sure to pop that up. And then, you know, just cutting away some of the excessive. These two regions generally are going to be where you want to work on, as I've always said, between 100 to 500, and then again from like 2K, 1K, all the way up to about 10K. You really want to work on those to make sure that your vocal blends in with the instruments of the track. I did have this high boost enabled, but I've just disabled it. Didn't really like it, sounding a bit too spiffy. But yeah, man, after that, again, bit of de-essing. I don't know how much I'm doing over here.
Mind blown, I can never trust someone I don't know.
And that's really just the second one, just to really limit any excessive frequencies around that region. So nothing crazy there. I do have this automated piece of thing that comes in right here. And basically what it is, or an EQ, it basically pops up around here. And what it does is, I just found that these recordings, I think I had like stopped for a while to go and do something. Then I came back to record these, and I think I was a bit in a different position from the microphone. So what ended up happening was this region was a bit more bright than everything else. So that's something you should also consider. So as you can see, the automation clip just pops in.
So baby let go. Pull up on the seat and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it.
All it's doing is just kind of getting rid of that, and it's also maybe because I'm shouting that we get that kind of extra kind of grit going on the vocals. So you just want to make sure to tame that. And as you can see, I'm doing that via an automation clip. So I've automated this thing right here. So right click and then create automation clip, boom, and then you can pretty much draw that in. So yeah, that's pretty much what we do. After that, man, we're doing a bit more MDEX from Korg, but this time we're doing a bit of reverb. Absolutely wonderful reverb. I actually really like the reverbs on this as well. They do sound a bit more hi-fi than a lot of other reverbs. I know a lot of people say that the FL reverb is quite tinny. It is quite tinny, quite glass sounding. It's definitely better for EDM, I would say. But in low amounts, you're not really going to get much of a difference. But I wanted something with space. So as you can see, I've used this default concert hall. If I was to boost it,
Don't know, so baby let go. Pull up on the seat and I got a grudge.
you can kind of hear that it's really nice. For digital reverb, it sounds sick. So there you go. That's what we do right there. On the VocalBus, before we go to the background vocals, we do a little bit of SSL bus compression. Now, for those who know, when we are recording to an already mixed beat, right, which is going to be what happens when you record the 2-track instrumentals, etc., we want to do a little bit of bus compression once in a while, just to make sure that the vocal doesn't stick out too much. So this is really what this is doing right here.
Cell phone, pull up with these rags, now her mind blown. I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go.
And as you can see, it just kind of pops in once in a while, and there you go. After that, I just used a limiter just to make sure that the level was set correctly with the beat, just so it doesn't pop out at all. And there you go, pretty cool, right? So yeah, man, that's pretty much all we're doing on that. If I was to start soloing out some of the background vocals, you can kind of hear what's going on. I'll actually just so we can save some time, I'll just mute the beat as well as the main vocal and just play this all through, so you can kind of hear the symphony of background vocals, and then we can break them down. And we will just disable these H3000 effects, which I'll talk about at the end. I think it's these ones.
Cell phone, mind blown. No, let go. Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. All my boys grimy, they smoke reefer. Bought a new chain, it look like a freezer. I hate to calm down when you come round. Driving real fast. I'm like.
And there you go, pretty cool, right? So a lot of chaos going on, but it blends in with the track. I'll just solo each one by one, just so you can hear each one.
Hello?
So doubles, just really nice, super calm, nice, just generic double sound that just complements the main vocal. If we play some other parts.
Call. Fuck you.
But yeah, pretty cool. Just nice and telephonic, but nice and hi-fi and rich sounding as well. That's one of them that we wanted to do. For punk doubles, we want something more aggressive.
Let it go. Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day.
Pretty similar, actually. Now that I think about it, I think the punk shouts would be here.
No, let go.
And again, you know, I'll show you everything as I go along. I just wanted to show you these. I'll show you how I mix them. But, you know, after this, we got the
Cell phone. Mind blown.
and then obviously, and then the backgrounds left and right. And here we go.
Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. All my boys grimy, they smoke reefer. Bought a new chain, it look like a freezer.
Very cool. So one thing I think you should notice by now is that there is no top end in any of these really. And then how I achieved that was mostly with this SSL plugin. I did a lot of high passing, and there's an SSL trick where basically you can, so let's just for example focus on one that I liked. I think it was the double. I didn't do anything. Yeah, maybe the punk double, let's focus on for now.
Pull up on the scene and I got a
Or even better, the backgrounds, right? So both of these backgrounds go to this BG vocal channel and then they run into an SSL EQ. But the trick that I use is actually to high pass, right? So basically to get rid of all the highs, but then to actually boost again, right? And you can see that more aggressively. So I'm boosting 20 dB right there, right? But then I compress it.
Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. All my boys grimy, they smoke reefer.
And that's just really cool. It's nice and hi-fi, but it's nice and kind of, it has its own pocket, you know what I mean? That's one thing you want to focus on. And I just run the background vocals into compression.
Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah.
And it just kind of, you know, creates this wall of sound effect. So pretty cool. And with the doubles, I did the same thing. We're doing a whole bunch of stuff, you know, Autotune, EQ. You get the gist by now. Doubler, you know, on certain things. I'll do a full video on specific channels if you'd like. But what are we sitting right now? 17 minutes. But yeah, you know, there you go. There's all sorts of cool stuff. As you can see, here's actually a good on punk double. This one, yeah, so.
Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. Trap all my boys grimy, they smoke reefer. Cut the new chain, it look like a freezer. So cold.
So pretty cool, right? You know, we kind of get this emphasized frequency area wherever we want, you know what I mean? So if I move this around.
Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah.
But you know, SSL EQs are just amazing at kind of creating that hi-fi telephone double sound. That's really where you get that. And it really comes from you over-exaggerating frequencies and then also taking away. So you can kind of get this push-pull thing. So really cool. And it just sounds really amazing, man. I mean, once we stack everything up, you know.
Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. All my boys grimy, they smoke reefer. Yeah, bought a new chain, it look like a freezer. Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. All my boys grimy, they smoke reefer. Yeah, bought a new chain, it look like a freezer.
So pretty cool, right? And yeah, to finalize it, we kind of have these H3000 effects, which I've just ran through my H3000. And all we've done is we've recorded the main vocal through a bunch of, or we've sent the main vocal to a bunch of different effects, right? Different presets. And we have a micro pitch shift, which is essentially a chorus or a flanger kind of thing. We also have a slap micro pitch, which is kind of like a cool weird delay. We also have this auto panner which comes in. I thought I was going to use it, but I didn't use it as much as I would have thought. So I just used it on one or two words, I think only those two. And then we've also got this cool flanger. This is amazing right here. I recorded a flanger and then I actually EQ'd it. As you can see, we got this crazy EQ going.
I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go.
But it's just really quiet in the background just to create a sense of width. I've also got this cool digital reverb right here, so. And all of that together just adds up to kind of complement the vocal, but not that much, you know.
I can never trust someone I don't know, so baby let go. Pull up on the scene and I got a grudge, yeah. Trapping all day, got it out the mud, yeah. All my boys grimy, they smoke reefer. Yeah, bought a new chain, it look like a freezer.
And there you go. Everything else, you know, we'll kind of just talk about in a different video, I guess. Just some delays and that kind of stuff. But yeah, nothing going on the master, just general limiter. But yeah, man, if you enjoyed this video, definitely don't forget to smash a like. Definitely make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Shout out Punk Rap. Shout out to everyone mixing in FL Studio. So yeah, man, definitely check the links in the description. I'll check you out next time. Have a good day or evening. Peace out.